Hello wine people, in this video I will answer and explain 50 multiple type of questions that you can expect on a WSET Level 2 in wine exam. If you're a WSET student, this will definitely be helpful for you. If you're a wine person, it will be fun and informative. So let's go! Okay, so just before we start with the answers and the explanation, allow me just to explain you a little bit how the questions are divided, what kind of grade you can receive on the WSET Level 2 in wine course, and what you will learn during these 50 questions. So WSET divides Level 2 course in 6 learning outcomes. Learning outcome is basically what you will learn during the course. So learning outcome number 1 is understanding the environment, how environment influences the style and quality of wine. Learning outcome number 2 is understanding how winemaking and bottle aging influences the style and quality of the wine. Learning outcome 3 and 4 is understanding how environmental factors, winemaking, aging, grape varieties, how they influence the style and quality of wine in certain classic wine regions around the world. Learning outcome number 5 is understanding sparkling and fortified wines. And learning outcome number 6 is understanding key principles and processes involved in storage and service of wine and food and wine pairing. So the next slide gives you the breakdown of how the questions on the exam are actually divided based on the learning outcomes. So you can see that actually majority of the questions come from the learning outcomes 3 and 4. And there's going to be many questions like this, basically asking you a certain appellation for you to recognize a style of wine or a grape variety that is associated with that region. And this is how marks which grades are available for you. So you're going to aim for this passing with distinction. For this you need a minimum of 85% of correct answers. In order just to pass, you need a minimum of 55 correct answers. I guarantee you, if you're a wine lover, if you really want to understand and discover wine, for Level 2 you will pass with distinction. Level 2 is a great course for you to get the knowing and the understanding of classic wine regions around the world. And then if you come to Level 3 in wines, Level 3 is a little bit, quite a bit more challenging and actually tests you on your understanding. Level 2 is actually more about, for you to get the knowledge, getting the information, the facts, and recalling this information. It doesn't really test you on your understanding. Level 3, the step up, is showing your understanding during the exam. You ready for the questions? Let's go. We have 50 questions, no time to waste. Let's go through them. Question number 1. Umami in food can make a wine taste more sweet, less drying and bitter, more acidic and more fruity. The correct answer is more acidic. The reason for this is there's certain foods that make the wine more or less balanced. Umami flavor is a challenging flavor for pairing it with wine and makes the wine more acidic, more drying, less fruity. And there's foods, for example, like salt, that enhances the flavor of the wine. It makes the wine more sweet and fruity. Question number 2. What style of wine is Asti DOCG? Sweet sparkling, dry red, dry sparkling, sweet still. The correct answer is sweet sparkling. So this is the question where it tests your understanding of, you need to connect the region with the grape variety or the style of wine, in this case the style of wine. Question number 3. Which one of the following wines may be produced in a dry, medium dry or sweet style? Sancerre, Port, Soave, Riesling, Auslese. The correct answer is D, Riesling Auslese. Auslese is a German term that indicates the level of ripeness of the grapes, and these wines can be dry, medium sweet, or sweet. I'll explain this German terminology in the questions that are gonna come later on. Sancerre is always a dry white wine made from Sauvignon Blanc or Pinot Noir. Port is always sweet, and Soave is made from Garganega, is always dry. Question number 4. In Southern Rhone, Syrah can be blended with Grenache to soften the acidity, dilute the color, add tannin, add red fruit flavors. The correct answer is C, add tannin. So in this case, in this question, you need to understand what qualities, characteristic does Syrah have, what characteristic does Grenache have. So when they blend, what did they add to the blend? Syrah is it's a dark grape variety, produces deep color wines with high acidity and tannin and black fruit flavors. Grenache is opposite, has less acidity, much less acidity, higher alcohol, red fruit flavors. So when you add Syrah to a Grenache blend, Grenache adds tannin to the blend. Question number 5. Compared to Italian Pinot Grigio, Pinot Gris from Alsace is typically lower in acidity with a fuller body, higher in acidity with lighter body, lower in acidity with lighter body, higher in acidity with fuller body. Correct answer is A, lower in acidity with a fuller body. You'll learn that Pinot Grigio and Pinot Gris is the same grape variety, but they have a big difference in style. Pinot Grigio indicates a light, simple style of Pinot Grigio. Pinot Gris indicates this Alsace style, which is more fuller body and more complex. And usually, if it's fuller body, it means more riper, so it indicates that the acidity will be slightly lower. Question number 6. The key aroma characteristic of Gewürztraminer is typically lychee, raspberry, strawberry, asparagus. The correct answer is A, lychee. There are certain grape varieties that have very specific aromas, and they're very easy to understand and to recognize. Especially white grape varieties like Gewürztraminer. Lychee is a tropical fruit. I guarantee you, if you take the fruit and smell the actual wine side by side, that you're going to understand that it's actually the same aroma. Which one of the following sherries are aged both biologically and oxidatively? Fino, Pedro Jimenez, Oloroso, Amontillado. All these are sherries, and the correct answer is D, Amontillado. Biological aging gives this aroma of yeasty character, where the oxidative aging gives this like a toasted nutty aroma. If you smell Amontillado, you'll get both aromas on the nose. In Pessac Léognan, Semillon is typically blended with Sauvignon Blanc to add tannin, body, acidity, sweetness. So what does Semillon add to the white Bordeaux blend? And the correct answer is B, body. So, Sauvignon Blanc has more acidity than Semillon, but Semillon brings more texture, more richness to the blend. Which one of the following labeling terms is not used on a champagne label? Non-vintage, vintage, late bottle vintage, and brut. The correct answer is C, late bottle vintage. This is a specific term used in production of port wine. Which one of the following wines is lightest in body? Trockenbauschlese, Bernau Schlese, Cabinet, and Auslese. So this is the question about German cabinet levels, which indicate the level of ripeness of the grapes. So usually the least ripe grapes will produce the lightest body wines. Cabinet levels, there's 6 of them in Germany, and cabinet indicates the least ripe grapes. So the correct answer is C, cabinet. Trockenbauschlese and Bernau Schlese will always be sweet. Auslese can be, as we saw in the previous question, different level of sweetness. Premium Chilean Sauvignon Blanc is produced in which of the following regions? Central Otago, Constantia, Casablanca Valley, Clare Valley. The correct answer is C, Casablanca Valley. It's a very famous region for premium cool climate Sauvignon Blanc from Chile. Central Otago is in South New Zealand, produces amazing Pinot Noir. Constantia, amazing region for premium Sauvignon Blanc from South Africa. And Clare Valley is in Australia, produces amazing Riesling. A wine labeling term, a Grand Cru in Burgundy means the grapes must come from a single vineyard, the grapes must come from vineyards in the same village, the wine has been matured in French oak only, the wine has not been matured in any oak. The correct answer is A. Grand Cru indicates a single vineyard wine in Burgundy, and on the labels of Grand Crus you're going to see the term Grand Cru and also just the name of the vineyard. Which variety native to Bordeaux is widely grown in Chile? Carmenere, Malbec, Pinotage, Semillon. The correct answer is A. Carmenere. Carmenere is considered a lost Bordeaux grape which found its way in Chile and produces amazing Carmenere in Chile, which Chile is famous for. Which one of the following Spanish wines does not have to be aged in oak? Gran Reserva, Joven, Reserva, Crianza. The correct answer is B. Joven. Joven in Spanish means young. These wines do not have to be aged in oak. All the rest have certain amount of time that wine needs to spend in oak and also in bottle before they're released. In port production, when is grape derived spirit first added? So when is a spirit added to the wine? Before fermentation, after fermentation, during fermentation, after maturation. The correct answer is C, during fermentation. This is one of the main differences between port and sherry, the timing of fortification. Fortification meaning that additional spirit is added to the wine. For the port production, the spirit is added during fermentation, and it does two things. It decreases the alcohol around 20 and stops the fermentation. With stopping the fermentation, you're left over with residual sugar, which makes the wine sweet. The local white grape responsible for sherry production is Albarino, Flor, Palomino, Tempranillo. The correct answer is C, Palomino. Palomino is the only grape variety that can be used for dry sherries in Spain. Valpolicella DOC is made using which grape? Corvina, Cortese, Chardonnay, Nebbiolo. The correct answer is A, Corvina. Barolo DOCG is used using which grape? Corvina, Cortese, Chardonnay, and Nebbiolo. The correct answer is D, Nebbiolo. These are the last two questions, are the questions that I was talking on the beginning, which is, I believe, from my experience, most challenging for students that are just starting to learn about wine, because it's a factual information where you just need to remember the region and the grape variety. What I always recommend is for students to take a spreadsheet, write grape varieties and regions with which they are connected to, and have everything in one place. This will make your learning of this fact information much easier. Chianti Classico DOCG would indicate grapes have been dried, grapes have been grown in a historic center of the region, the wines has been aged in a classic old oak barrels, the wine has not been aged. The correct answer is B. The grapes come from the historic center of the region. The term Classico, it's used a lot in Italy, and it indicates this historic first region where wines were produced. The three key grape varieties when making champagne are Pinot Grigio, Meunier, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Meunier, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Pinot Gris, Chardonnay, Chardonnay, Chenin Blanc, and Merlot. The correct answer is B, Pinot Noir, Meunier, and Chardonnay. Vino della Tierra is a labeling term commonly seen in Australia, Spain, France, and Italy. Correct answer is B. Vino della Tierra indicates a larger geographical area in Spain, where the grapes are coming from. Tannin is commonly found in which parts of a grape? Seeds, stem, skin, stems, pulp, skin only, pulp only. This is a tricky question. And I'll explain why. The correct answer is A, seeds, stem, and skin. The correct answer, the main tannin, because there's a question where the main tannin comes from. The main tannin comes from the skin, but there's also tannin coming from the seeds and from the stems. That's why you need to read the questions carefully. Ribera del Duero is a black grape variety grown in Argentina, an expensive red wine made from Grenache, a region which produces premium red wine made from Tempranillo, a fortified wine. The correct answer is C. This is a famous region that produces premium wines from Tempranillo. Full-body wine with tropical fruit aromas of pineapple and melon and oak typically describes a wine from Pomerol, Poulet-Fusset, Poulet-Fumé, Pommard. The correct answer is B, Poulet-Fusset. Pomerol is a region in Bordeaux, Pommard is a region in Burgundy. Don't confuse Poulet-Fumé and Poulet-Fusset. Poulet-Fumé is a region in Loire, produces Sauvignon Blanc. Poulet-Fusset is a region in south of Burgundy, more warmer climate, produces riper fruit, and also ages wine in barrels made from Chardonnay. Which one of the following might have an age indication on the bottle of wine? 10, 20, 30, or 40 years. Ruby port, tawny port, late bottle vintage port, and vintage port. The correct answer is B. Premium tawny ports, they have indication of age of 10, 20, 30, 40 years. The term is indication of age, which indicates how old the blend is, because it's a blend of different vintages. Pinot Noir is usually pale to medium in color with low acidity, pale to medium in color with high acidity, deep in color with high acidity, deep in color with low acidity. The correct answer is B, pale to medium in color with high acidity. We know that Pinot Noir is a thin skin grape variety and enjoys a cool climate and has this beautiful, refreshing high acidity. The classic region for Syrah is Northern Rhone, Southern Rhone, Turin, Beaujolais. The correct answer is A, Northern Rhone. Syrah is the only black grape variety that is used in Northern Rhone. In Southern Rhone, it is used as a blending, mostly as a blending partner. Turin is a region in Loire, and Beaujolais is a region in South Burgundy. Furmint is most widely grown in Moldova, Spain, Hungary, Italy. The correct answer is C, but more specifically Hungary region of Tokaj, where it produces butter-sized, lusciously sweet wines. In California, wines labeled as white Zinfandel are dry white wines, medium sweet white wines, dry rosé wines, medium sweet rosé wines. The correct answer is D, medium sweet rosé wines. Zinfandel, it is a black grape variety, but the term white Zinfandel is a labeling term that indicates a style of wine made from Zinfandel, which is a medium sweet rosé wine. Oak and malolactic conversion aromas are considered primary, secondary, tertiary, or faulty aromas. The correct answer is B, secondary aromas. Secondary aromas are aromas that the wine gets from winemaking techniques inside the winery. Primary aromas are aromas of the fruit, of the grape with fermentation. Tertiary aromas are aromas that wine develops in bottle, and faulty aromas are faulty aromas. Which factor is important to balance for balance in wine with sugar? Acidity, alcohol, flavor, characteristics, tannins. The correct answer is A, acidity. When you have a sweet wine, you need to have high acidity in order to balance the sweetness. All the rest are also a characteristic of wine that need to be in balance, but specifically for sugar, acidity is a direct correlation for balance. Salt can enhance the flavor in wine. True or false? True. On the first question we talked about umami flavor, then I mentioned salt. Salt is a positive flavor in food that enhances the flavor of the wine. It can make, maybe a boring Pinot Grigio, it can make it a little bit more fruity and maybe a little bit riper. Acidity in food can make a wine seem drier, less acidic, less fruity, more bitter. Acidity is also a good flavor in food. It makes the wine less acidic. So the rule of thumb is always to have, if you have a high acidic dish, pair it with a high acidic wine. It will make the acidity more balanced. Which degree is generally accepted as room temperature? 6, 12, 17, 24. Correct answer is C, 17. At this temperature you want to serve your more powerful red wines. 6 degrees is for sparkling wines, 12 is for lighter body red wines or fuller body white wines, and 24 is just too hot. Which type of wine is best served in a flute? Sparkling wine, dry red wine, dry white wine, fortified sweet wine. The correct answer is A. The main reason is for people to enjoy the CO2, the bubbles. When opening a bottle of sparkling wine, one should always hold the cork secure while losing the cage, hold the bottle at the angle, turn the bottle, not the cork, all the above. The correct answer is D, all the above. Opening a sparkling wine can be a dangerous thing. There's a lot of pressure in that bottle, and if you don't have control over the cork 100% of the time, you can make an accident. So follow the proper steps how to open a bottle of sparkling wine. Warm ocean currents play a significant climatic role in California, Chile, Northern Europe, South Africa. The correct answer is C, Northern Europe. Warm current that comes from the Caribbean plays a significant warming effect, has a warming effect on Bordeaux, and it enables ripening of the grapes in a cool maritime climate in Bordeaux. Most of the world vineyards are found between which degrees of latitude? 10 to 30, 20 to 40, 30 to 50, 40 to 60. The correct answer is 30 to 50. Everything below 30 is just going to be too warm. Everything above 50 will be too hot. Sorry, everything above 50 will be too cold. Grapes harvested later in the ripening process will have higher acidity, lower sugar, higher sugars, lower acidity, higher sugars and acidity, lower acidity and sugars. Correct answer is B, higher sugars and lower acidity. That's just what happens with ripening. Which is the correct typical order for red wine making? Pressing, draining, fermentation, maturation, fermentation, draining, pressing, maturation, draining, maturation, pressing, fermentation, maturation, fermentation, draining, pressing. The correct answer is B, fermentation, draining, pressing, and maturation. When the wine finishes the fermentation, you drain it, you let the wine come out. This is the free run juice, the highest quality wine. You press the rest of the grapes, you extract. Usually these wines are more tannic and deeper in color, and then you mature your wine. A cool region in Australia that produces quality Pinot Noir is Barossa Valley, Hunter Valley, Clare Valley, Yarra Valley. The correct answer is D, Yarra Valley. It's just northeast of Melbourne. Produces amazing Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, also sparkling wines. Barossa is famous for Shiraz, Hunter Valley for Semillon, and Clare Valley for Riesling. Which region of New Zealand is not famous for its Pinot Noir? Central Otago, Hawke's Bay, Marlborough, and Martinborough. Pinot Noir is a very important grape in New Zealand, but the only region that actually it's not that important, it's Hawke's Bay. In Hawke's Bay, the most important grapes are Cabernet and Merlot, and they produce some Bordeaux blends. What is the determining factor for each of the German predicate wine levels? Again, German question. Vineyard site, vintage, sugar levels, and price. The correct answer is C. Sugar levels. Predicate wine indicates the ripeness of the grapes, not the sugar level in the finished wine. The Vosges mountain allow Riesling to ripen slowly and gradually in which French region? Alsace, Burgundy, Loire, and Rhone. The correct answer is A, Alsace. When you start learning about Alsace, you'll understand how Vosges mountains are so important for this region. The grape variety used to make a Vouvray is Chenin Blanc, Fourmint, Semillon, all the above. Correct answer is A, Chenin Blanc. Albarino is a white grape of which region? Priorat, Rias Baixas, Ribera del Duero, Rioja. The correct answer is B, Rias Baixas. Rias Baixas is that northwestern part of Spain, which is called the green part of Spain. Which AOC is home to the finest example of Viognier? Condroux, Côte-Rôtie, Grape, and Thoiry. The correct answer is A, Condroux. Condroux is a premium wine region in northern Rhone that specializes in Viognier. Which river divides Bordeaux into left and right bank? Gironde, Loire, Rhine, Rhone. The correct answer is A, Gironde. When we start talking about Bordeaux, we always talk about left and right side of the Bordeaux, and we talk about this river Gironde that separates the region in two parts. Which region is the most famous for Tempranillo-based wines in Spain? Catalunya, Priorat, Rias Baixas, Rioja. The correct answer is D, Rioja. Tempranillo is the most important red grape variety in Spain. It grows in many places, but Rioja, it is the most famous region for Tempranillo. Catalunya is famous for Spanish sparkling wine Cava. Priorat is famous for Grenache and Carignan, and Rias Baixas, as we mentioned, for Albarino. Last question. Pinotage is sometimes blended with Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot to create Amarone del Valpolicella, Cape Blends, Côte de Rhône Village, Method Cap Classique. The correct answer is Cape Blends. This is when, in South Africa, when you blend a local Pinotage with a Bordeaux blends, you get a Cape blend. Amarone del Valpolicella is a famous wine from Veneto. Côte de Rhône Village is appellation in Rhone Valley, and Method Cap Classique is a term used for sparkling wines made by traditional method in South Africa. Congratulations, we went through 50 WSET questions. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please consider subscribing if this was fun and informative for you. If you're a WSET student, I hope this will help you through your WSET course. If you're a wine person, I hope it was fun and informative. Comment below how many questions did you get right, or if you're interested in wine and in WSET, what would you like us to make a video about? Until next time, stay thirsty and wise for wine and wine knowledge.